Welcome to the Tequila Time Podcast. I'm so excited to introduce to you today's guest, member of the board Ape Yacht Club, Jean. Welcome to the show, Jean. How are you?
I'm good, Tequila. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here today, for sure.
Amazing. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and I'm so excited to hear your story. If we roll back and just start from the beginning, like how did you get into the board Ape Yacht Club? How did that look?
Yeah, I think my story, I feel like I've told this a bunch of times, but my story is probably very similar to how a lot of people got into BAYC and I guess NFTs in general. So it was the middle of the pandemic. I was actually playing a lot of video games. And then, one of my buddies said, yeah, have you heard about this thing called NBA Top Shot? And I said, no, what's that? And he said, well, it's basically like trading cards, like basketball cards, but digital in a digital format. So, I checked that out and sort of got hooked on it almost immediately. And I think I came in, was it March of 2021, maybe? I feel like that was sort of at the top, like peak hype of NBA Top Shot. And so that sort of got me used to the idea of owning a digital asset. Because, before that, I had no concept of it, right? And then, I think what happened from there was I started following a bunch of, people on Twitter. I saw the tweets from, Roham and Alan Falcon. They were talking about this thing called Ava Stars, which was, Jimmy.eth's, NFT project. So I figured I'd create, a MetaMask wallet and see what it was all about. And it was like, I remember it being like such a confusing process creating a MetaMask account, but obviously you kind of did what you had to do and you kind of stumbled along. I think I created like 3 like different wallets just by accident because I didn't know what I was doing. But then, I eventually bought an Avis Star and then, I felt good about the process and being able to buy things on OpenSea at least. And then, Ape started, getting some attention on Twitter because I think they were revealing at the time. And so there was like this big buzz on like, oh, there's these apes. And so I bought 3 of them, in the span, I don't know, maybe a week or so. And, anywhere from like zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.5 ETH. And, ETH was at $2,500 at the time. And, I showed my friends and they all thought I was crazy for buying, JPEG monkeys for hundreds of dollars, at the time. And so, I didn't think anything of it. And, a few months later, they started to pump and pump and pump. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Well, I've never sold anything. Let me figure out how to sell something. And so I put one up for sale for like, I don't know, 1 ETH, 2 ETH, something like that. And, it sold like immediately. And I was like, wow, this is real. There's something here. And I think, I paper handed another one, like, a few months later, because they really started to pump even more. And I was like, okay, I have one left and I'm just going to stick with this guy and kind of see where we go. And, so it's sad. Like I paper handed two weeks early on, but, at least I still have my, forever Ape, Nicky Nichols, and, keep them forever, hopefully.
That's amazing. I love that story. It just takes me right back to when I got my ape. It was the very first NFT I'd ever bought. I actually never knew anything about NFTs. I never, again, used any digital wallets, nothing at all. And a friend of mine was like, oh, you should look at these things. These are pictures of apes. And
Mm-hmm.
I was more taken, if I'm honest, like by the community. I went into Discord for the very first time, very new to everything, anything to do with Web3, NFTs, cryptocurrency. And immediately, there was like, Mr. Suit.eth, Neon Ape, and, the bartender, of course. And everyone was just so friendly. They were all so helpful. And, it really got me excited for just something, I guess, completely out of the ordinary for me. I'm not really a technological person.
Mm-hmm.
And once I, once I got into that like club, I immediately thought, right, I want to stay here. I want to make friends with these people. I want to connect with them and just see where this goes. And my ape was in a liquidity pool. So we was following them minting out. And My ape basically chose me. And when it was
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, like there was no facial hair, which is great, being a girl. He had the broad mouth, so very laid back, Hawaiian shirt, which suited me perfectly because I love island life, and the stoned
Mm-hmm.
eyes. And I just thought, okay, as much as I don't smoke physically, there's plenty of people who do that everywhere around me, especially like particular parts of this island. There's weed everywhere, and I get high off the
Mm-hmm.
fumes. So it all just made so much sense. And I was just, yeah, I was so taken with the ape that picked me. I didn't pay for hand. I've just diamond hands this one like forever. And I will never sell. Do you know if it reached any crazy amount of money, in the millions, and I would never sell it. I just plan on building the IP around it and creating something, myself to be everlasting on the blockchain. But yeah, there was something special about last summer and something special about entering the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I'm sure you have seen it too, but the amount of doors it opens for anyone who holds, I guess, a Bored Ape, just incredible. It's amazing. And I
Yeah,
think dreams can come true.
no, totally. And it's funny you say that just because I've met so many people in the space. Going to ape meetups, NFT meetups, and I mean not even just meeting other apes, just other NFT people in general too, right? But there's so many to name and so many projects to name. That sort of I've found along the way because it was an ape. I mean, obviously the first one I'd say was Jenkins the Valet, and because that was sort of the first real opportunity to use your IP in something and
Hmm.
contribute it to something and actually see some sort of return. I mean, we haven't seen anything yet, but it's all sort of on the way. Everything's still early, right?
Yeah.
And I know you had El Mono on the podcast last time, and he's also a big Jenkins guy. So and it's funny because I think I have like a connection with every one of the guests you've had so far, right? So with Almano, it's like we're both big Jenkins guys. We're both in the book, as named characters and all that stuff. And then Mo
Amazing.
Pete, obviously did our filters, so we all have that connection. And actually, with Mo Pete, I just actually hit him up the other day. We're Eskimo ape brothers. So the ape that he has now, that's one of the first three that I bought and sold along
Wow.
the way, and now he has that one. So we've got that connection. And then who was there? Who was the second one? Oh, Vagabond.
Yeah.
He's an orange beanie ape, and like I forget when I started this, but I have one of these here. But I started making these like orange beanies um a while back, and I just made a ton of them and tweeted it out and said, "Hey, any orange beanie apes out there, hit me up. I'll send you one." And he was one of the
Wow.
guys that hit me up, and so we're orange beanie ape family for life now.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah, yeah. Also, if you want one, I'm happy to send you one too. I know you're in Beta or wherever you are, but I'm happy to send you one wherever in the world you are. I've sent these internationally, and so it's cool seeing
Wow.
them pop up on the timeline.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to join the beanie crew. Rep it on the beach with my
let's
bikini. I mean, I
go.
might get a bit warm, but yeah, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
I love it. I love it, Pam, honestly. Like, wow. I love actually that you feel like you have a connection with every guest so far. The one main reason for this podcast, not only are we making history doing a podcast with our ape filters on, I mean, that's just wild, but also I want to just connect us more. I want people in the Bored Ape Yacht Club community, and that goes for everyone. It doesn't have to just be the Bored Apes. We've got a whole ecosystem of people. I just want to bring everyone closer together so that we feel the connection that we really did at the very beginning, the kind of connection that not everyone has experienced because they got in a bit later when things changed. But I just remember how special it was right at the beginning, those first few weeks, the early months. There was something so special about the way everything felt and how connected everyone was, how close we become. And I still don't feel like I've met quite enough of our Ape fam yet. So this was just a way for me to get to know you, I guess, on a deeper level, and for like the whole world to like watch one day so that they can also understand which apes they can trust.
Yeah, I love that idea, and I'm a big fan of connecting people and sort of building out the community that way, right? Like for example, with these beanies, I've sent I don't even know how many hundreds out now, and you see them on the timeline, and then when you go to in real life events like at Ape Fest, you see people wearing these orange beanies. I'm like, hey, what's up? It's me, and they're like, oh my God, you're the beanie guy. And it's just like cool. It's like a cool way to connect with a community and kind of bring everyone together in that way. So I'm so happy to do things like that. And speaking of like in real life, I just think I love, and I don't know how you feel about IRL stuff, but I love being able to go out and meet people at these events, because it's such a weird experience, right? Because you feel like you develop this relationship on the internet, on Twitter, and Discord, and whatever, and you feel like so close, and then when you actually go meet these people, it's like you had known them your whole life. It's such a fun experience, and like I never regret going out and meeting people in real life, and so I'll take any opportunity I can to go out to NFT events, where there's a bunch of NFT heads out there, and kind of say hi.
I love that, honestly. Like genuinely, I totally get what you mean. The very first year, I missed Ape Fest. The first year, I missed all of the other NFT events like Miami and Art Basel and everything. So this year, I managed to go to New York, managed to get all 4 nights at Ape Fest, met apes that
Nice.
I've spoken to for like over a year, and finally got to put like real life faces to the ape profiles,
Yeah.
and it was just a special thing. Like I feel like I've made friends for life, and I've traveled to the other side recently, so away from paradise for a little while, mainly to meet more apes in real life, plus other NFT communities. So I'm on a bit of a
Amazing.
journey right now. Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm
Where
gonna.
have you gone?
So throughout Europe, I stopped in a few places, and then I'm gonna venture to NFT London,
Oh,
which is
nice.
in November. Yeah, and it's mainly just literally to connect. So
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, meeting people in real life. One, you can trust the other person with that profile, like for sure. To it, obviously a certain degree, but I feel that way anyway. I feel like there's more of a bond built. There's more
Yeah.
of that. I guess the whole vibe and clicking with someone in real life just hits different. So yeah, I'm just so excited, and I want to just do so much more of that this year. I'm going to try and go
Yeah.
to Art Basel as well in December, and
Nice.
yeah, and who knows where else? I don't know.
For me, actually, interestingly enough, there's an event tomorrow in downtown LA where I was asked to speak about Jenkins, the valet, and like IP utilization and whatnot. And so I'll be there, and I'll definitely see all the LA apes there, and a bunch of Web3 people. Fenwick West is going to be out there, and so they're going to be talking about the SEC regulations and looking at Yuga Labs and all the news there, and then so that's actually tomorrow, and then the next thing I have after that is not until Miami, so I'll be there at Basel. So would love to meet up with you
Amazing.
and everyone else when that happens. So super excited for that. There was a tweet that just went out today from BAYC about this, like a Miami announcement, and I was thinking, oh my God, are they going to announce the clubhouse? Um, and I was so excited. I was like, oh crap, I got to book like my hotel now and stuff. And I've already booked my flight. I just got to wait and see like where all the events are before I book the hotel. But I was so excited. But no, it was about just I guess an investment in the community, which is also cool in and of itself. Um,
Yeah, I
I
saw
guess we'll
that. Super
we'll have
cool.
to wait for the clubhouse next time.
Yeah, I'm literally bubbling inside for that clubhouse to open because whenever I'm whenever I'm in Paradise, say, it's normally around the Caribbean, which isn't that far from America. So Yeah, I just cannot wait. I feel like I'll definitely make the most of like quick flights there because
Nice.
I just want to, yeah, party with everyone and like make like Ape Fest a continual thing. Just
Ah,
yeah, like wow.
I'm like imagining they're gonna build like this amazing Yuga Labs headquarters and like, and then, down below on the ground floor will be like the clubhouse and like built out and like multiple like
Yeah.
buildings and whatnot. Oh man, I have such a big vision of that. Like I want to go move there if it
Yeah.
actually is that cool. But I got to talk to the family first and see.
Yeah, like one big ape house where we all sort of connect, build content, and I don't know, everyone stays there a couple of weeks at a time. At a time. Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I wonder
I
how it'll
imagine,
work. I have no idea.
yeah, it would need to be pretty big, you know. It would be great as well if they had like multiple pools and jacuzzis and like open ceilings so you can see the stars in the night and we can all just party under the sky and
Yeah.
just fantasizing right now. But yeah,
Oh
it would be
man.
so cool.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder. We should definitely start like a clubhouse rumor, but just like figuring out what it could be, all the things it could be. Maybe we end up on the committee on the council and we give them feedback.
Yeah, maybe we'll like plant some seeds, and then if they like what we're saying and they see the energy and how committed we'd be,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, we'll
exactly.
be next part of the council.
That'll be cool. I mean,
Yeah,
such cool people on the council. I mean, and obviously we know a lot of them. I mean, that's part of the reason
yeah,
why they're on the council, right? They're out in the community, they're building, all have good relationships with the other apes, and so
yeah.
that's amazing to see that.
For sure. I feel like everyone on there are people who've turned up every day, you know, like people who are committed and completely invested in what Yoga Labs are building. I feel I've got very heavy bags and I'm happy about it. I've not flipped anything. I've just kept reinvesting. And, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. And I could be like
Uh-huh.
more wealthy, I guess, outside of Yoga Labs, but I'm really happy with what I've done. And I let money just kind of wash away. I don't really care about it. All I want is the experience. I feel like we're on this wild ride during a time where we're at the dawn of something greater than anything we've ever experienced, greater than the internet, greater than anything that any of our, you know,
Oh yeah.
grandparents and great grandparents have gone through. Like we are going through something that's going to change how humanity lives on this planet. And wow, you
I
know,
mean,
just incredible.
totally agree. I mean, it's hard to deny, right? I mean, I feel like, a lot of people have talked about it before, like, who were around back in the day when, the internet was coming out and, just seeing Web3 as like such a big inflection point, sort of on the level of how the internet sort of revolutionized everything, right? And, the common refrain is that just like when the internet was coming around, two things. It was like obviously clearly overhyped, but it was also obviously clearly the next thing, right? That was going to change everything. And you just can't help but feel the same way about this stuff now, like the consumer blockchain and what
Yeah.
this could do for everything, literally everything. And we're not just talking about like NFTs and collectibles and like making money, just like even everyday life. I think every brand will have some sort of NFT strategy, and it won't be about making money or releasing collectibles. Like Starbucks, for example, they're using the tech for consumer loyalty programs, right? And
Yeah.
no one's necessarily going to try to flip that and make money off it. Or maybe they will. I don't know, but I don't think that's Starbucks's goals there. I think they're just trying to continue building out their brand and staying updated with tech and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah, I
sure.
agree. I think we're at a very interesting inflection point in this whole thing, and we're I'm just glad we're here. We're exploring. We're like knee deep in all this stuff, and I'm so happy, just like you are. I'm just so happy to be in this space. Just it just makes me happy. Like if you
Yeah.
look around my room, I've got all kinds of like crazy crazy stuff. Um, and it's like my life now in a way.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
for sure.
it's kind of taken over, but I love it. I wouldn't
Yeah,
trade
it's
this experience for anything else.
me neither. I love that you're so passionate like I am because sometimes I feel like I'm my own hype train. Like I literally shout it every day, yelling tequila, like because I'm so excited. I don't know what else to shout anymore because I'm like, yes, let's fucking go. Because I just feel this thing inside of me and it won't shut down. It just won't stop. And I
Yeah,
just feel
yeah.
like I don't
Well,
even
are
want it to
you?
stop. I let it go.
Yeah, right. Well, where I was going to ask where you are there a lot of other NFT heads out there or apes or anything?
So I always stay very anonymous because I'm really conscious of getting robbed. I'm very noticeable, so I don't
Yeah,
want anyone knowing what I've
yeah,
got. So where I am, there's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely, there's meetups, there's crypto meetups, there's people talking about NFTs. I've been in coffee shops and then like a table over, there's a group of people mentioning things like, oh, what do you think we should buy? And what do you think we should invest in? And we can't afford a Bored Ape. And, I hear so much conversation. So
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
know they're around, and that's multiple countries I've been in. Just I stay very quiet.
Yeah,
I stay very, very quiet. I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't rep any merch in real life.
Got it. So you try to interact more online.
Yes, I am. And to be honest, I am
Yeah.
online all the time and I never used to be. I'm not a technological person. So it's so strange that I've
Uh-huh.
been immersed in this since last April. And it's been such a 24/7 thing that I've loved that I come off all of my other social media platforms. And I had I'm not bigging myself up at all because part of me doesn't even know why people follow me sometimes. But I had like over 100K and stuff. And I just shut them down. And I was like, no, I'm going to fully focus on my ape. I'm not going to tell anyone who I am. No one's going to know it's me. I'm just going to build something, and I'm not going to be any different to how I am as a person because you can't keep that kind of act up. I'm just going to be myself. And
You
if people
sure?
don't like me, fine. If I get on their nerves, fine. But, there's 8 billion people on the
Uh-huh.
planet. There's going to be friends somewhere. So I just thought, no, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to grow organically from zero. And
I
here
love
we
that.
are,
I love that.
yeah. But I'm, yeah, bubbling
Here
inside.
we
I
are.
love waking up every day. And I can hardly sleep because I'm so excited all the time and I'm building things and honestly, like it's crazy wild. It's honestly, if you were a fly on the wall, you'd be like,
Uh-huh.
how does this girl still have this energy? Because it's just 24/7.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, I could tell the energy every with every tequila post on Instagram, on the beach. Let's fucking go tequila. It's like
Uh-huh.
you can't really deny the energy. And if you're like that 24/7, wow, that's incredible. Um
It's wild, and I don't even need tequila. Tequila is just my favorite drink, and it's what I choose. But I get
sure.
high off fresh air, I
Sure,
think.
sure.
Like just life, like it's wild. Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
I obviously want to stay anonymous, but like, my history's been tough. Like I've like gone through crazy, like everyone, crazy things. I could tell
Sure,
some crazy stories where people
sure.
wouldn't really read that story of me. But I
Yep.
think when you go through tough times, you grow as a human, you become stronger. And so I'm very thankful for everything I've been through, the good, the bad, the ugly, because where it's led me to is
Right.
cryptocurrency, NFTs, Bored Ape Yacht Club, growing IP, and just looking forward to this future. Honestly, it's
Right,
wild.
right.
I was going to say, I'm just loving all of your merch in the background and all of those hats.
Oh yeah. I
I
mean, I
love
could
it.
I could show you more, but it's all like it's all the, Bored Ape stuff. I used to have more of like different
Beautiful.
different projects too, but it's just like
Yeah,
the apes have sort of taken over. And then,
I
all the
love it. I
basketballs and
love it.
shoes and posters. I don't know if you see this. I've got pins from Real Ape Pins right here. I've collected like a bunch of
Nice.
our ape friends.
I
We've got
love
the
it.
Rolling Stone magazine here, and then this is like the Jenkins, Where's Jenkins, like game that they had in their book. Like, so there's a bunch of apes that are like
Wow.
illustrated in this thing. I created it
I love
into a
it.
puzzle, and then I spent like 8 hours with the kids putting that thing together, and then we figured, oh, might as well frame it. It looks gorgeous. And so,
That's
um,
amazing. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I had
yeah,
to just sort of butt in and
I'm
tell you that.
huge on physicals. Yeah, no,
It's
thank you.
amazing.
Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome. It's
um,
hard not to, but look how
yeah,
plain my walls are, you know.
yeah, we need to step up your background there.
Yeah, I agree. I do. Just as that ain't none thing, you
Um,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
one podcast at a time, right?
for
So
sure,
no
for
worries.
sure.
We're still early.
Yeah. Sorry. This is the first.
And you said you were building stuff or like IP and
Yeah.
you're working on projects and anything you can share.
I can give a little bit. Just I haven't announced publicly exactly what I'm doing, but thanks to again, you know, this
Yeah, yeah.
amazing kind of unique, I guess, place to be in a board ape. It's opened a lot of doors and it's allowed me to connect with people, one on a global level, and secondly, through friends I've made in the NFT space. Even ones who are not apes, just literally other NFT communities that I've linked with that are so, you know, just kind and full of like love for just the space in general. I've managed to connect with people who never in my life would I have been able to find and know to contact them, you know, for anything. It's like people behind closed doors and behind those closed doors, and you'd never really see them, but you know that someone's, you know, making moves somewhere and people succeed because of people. You know, everyone needs a network to grow. And
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
so from those moments, I managed to put together something that I have wanted since I was a child. Literally, I feel like I'm living a dream and I'm going to bring my dreams to life. And it's through a project I'm launching, which is Tequila Verse. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's some exciting things to come. And I've been growing really slowly
All
from
right.
everything. Yeah, I built the team really slowly. I put everything together just very organically and very with a lot of care and thought, because to me, it wasn't something I just wanted to drop to make some ETH. And it wasn't something I wanted to drop just to drop a project. It was something that I wanted to create to become a legacy on the blockchain and live there forever, you know, build an empire basically around something that was my dream. And so that's what I'm doing. So it's special to me and I care a lot. So it's very, it's exciting. And also it ties a few
Yeah.
Web2 companies together, bridging the gap into Web3. So that's exciting as well.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm going to say for now.
That sounds amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
Some alpha
Thank you.
there. Yeah, let me let me know. I'll follow closely and hope for a whitelist opportunity or something. Um,
Thanks
yeah,
so much. Yeah.
that's exciting. And I think yeah, I think you mentioned sort of Web 2 the Web 2 aspect which I think is really important, right? You can't I don't think we can just kind of bury Web 2 and leave it behind, right?
hmm
I think there's got to be a period where, Web 2 and Web 3 are kind of working together in the sort of idea of like a Web 2.5 sort of thing, and then maybe sorry, yeah, Web 2.5, and then maybe you get to the next thing eventually. But
Yeah.
I've seen, for example, I'm, not to shill, but I'm involved with this company called Ape Water or Ape Beverages. And, they've got, they're launching this, the beverage brand of the metaverse essentially. Right. And the interesting thing with them is that the team they're all like sort of Web 2, like big shots in their sort of respective fields. And, now they're trying to make this transition into Web 3, and their approach, and I happen to be drinking some, but their
Amazing.
approach
I
wasn't
love
to just
it.
buy
See
their own
the
ape and
merch
then
again.
slap it on a can and just sell a bunch of it. Yeah, exactly. um,
It's like if I ever
their
need
approach is
anything, I'm coming
to
to you.
let me know. I probably know someone I even got like limited edition stuff
It's
that
wild.
not a lot of people have. But anyways, yeah. What I like about what they're doing is with the water is that they're approaching the community and they're like building through the community and like building with apes and learning sort of organically along the way. And so it's that sort of like Web 2 meets Web 3, and you kind of need both working together to
Yeah.
kind of build something. So I think it's important that that you recognize Web3 recognizes the need for Web2 and vice versa. We need each other really
Yeah.
to build cool stuff. And so I'm excited to see where all this goes.
For sure. I feel like we're both into exciting stuff. I actually listened to the spaces yesterday and it was super intriguing. Like I was
Cool.
really excited for you as an advisor to them. I was excited for the whole team because everyone seemed so, I guess,
Thank you.
knowledgeable, passionate, and like they really wanted to do something, and they wanted to work with the Web3 community rather than just sort of pump their bags through them. A little bit like I've seen other Web2 companies do, and then just sort of leave, It does seem much more,
That's right.
There's more togetherness. I liked it.
Yeah, it's definitely more, it's more than just a project, right? They're a business and they're building for the long haul. They've got very audacious plans and visions of what they're trying to build. I've got to see a glimpse of it, along the way, and I think once if they can realize even half of it, I mean, it'll be incredible, right?
Yeah.
And so, I'm biased. Like I said last night, I'm biased, but I'm bullish on what they could do. And I just, again, it's like this whole thing about IP. Like that's what sort of initially piqued my interest. I was like, oh, an ape on a can of water, like that is awesome, and like the branding looks great.
Yeah.
And lately I've been all about trying to figure out, okay, I have an ape and whatever. And it's no longer NFT summer. We're not like buying and flipping and buying and flipping. That's that game is sort of dried up, and I've gotten sort of tired of that stuff as well. I'll do a degen mint here and there just to kind of make sure I still know how to do things, but for the most part, I've been focused on like trying to build out the IP of my character and ape and whatnot, and so this was definitely something that sort of came up that sort of piqued my interest in terms of like IP utilization.
Yeah, the right timing, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it's like we're talking about, what doors does being an ape open for you, right? And this is one of them, right? I was invited to a dinner to meet the founders because I was an ape, happened to be in LA where the founders were, and it was just sort of happenstance from that perspective. But if I wasn't, like, I don't think that door would have opened for me, right? And then the other thing about what Ape Water's doing is they're offering apes to get on their cap table, their capitalization table, and actually be an equity owner of the business. It's a small percentage, but it's still an opportunity that's afforded to us because we're apes, right? And like it's a cool, like, I've never been on that side of, I'm not an accredited investor. I don't see term sheets a lot. And so, seeing one and being given the opportunity is like amazing, just because I bought an NFT, 18 months ago or whatever, however long it was.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful thing. And it's, again, so unique. That's why I think I feel so excited, even during a time where, I guess the world's going a bit crazy and the markets are not looking very fresh, but everything that's happening, I cannot help myself but just to smile, and like I've got this cheesy grin on my face all of the time, and I can't shake it, and I don't want to, but I couldn't if I tried. Like, for example, only today, today, for example, had this message from someone who never in my life would I think was even, I don't know, in my reach. Because they're just, and I see all humans as like the same level. Don't get me wrong. Like, people might get starstruck around like, superstars and stuff, but it's not really that like that. I don't mean it that way. I just mean it in the sense of feeling so blessed that people are at reach, at arm's length or tweet's length to be able to connect with and build together. And, now there's meetings happening because I'm this side of the world and it's the right side of the world. And I'm blown away. So I'm even more excited today again, not only because we've got this podcast and I've been so pumped to get you on. I was so excited when you, it was agreed.
Thank you.
like, wow. And I just feel like everything's coming together in a way that, like, in life, those things just don't happen, you know, like life is tough and there's waves, like
Right,
tidal
right.
waves you've got to ride. And yeah, just things are just like, wow. Yes, there's problems, but also the positives are just blowing my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioned like it's surprising to be this happy in a bear market, right? And I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know, for me I feel like the vibes are still just as high, and if anything, it's been really cool in this sort of bear market just because it's quiet, there's not a lot of noise, right? You're not in Discord like reading every announcement from every little project that's like announcing something because you don't want to miss like out on some opportunity for life-changing wealth, generational wealth, right? So there's none of that noise, and it's really cool because you see the people that are here today that are still here, they're the ones that are building,
Yeah.
and it's just so cool to see. And I don't know if it's because of where I am or the people that I know here, but it's just like I have so many friends in the space that are building something, and it's
Yeah.
I'm trying to just watch and learn and sort of build alongside of them, but it's just so cool being here and seeing it while it's quiet, and because we were all there before last year and things were crazy and so many things going on,
Yeah.
but now I almost it's kind of nice because it's you have a little bit of your life back, like you don't have to spend as much time staying up to date on certain things. And I've definitely simplified my portfolio a bit and my discords a little bit, right? And I've sort of laser focused on things that I love and that I like. And now I can spend the rest of the time, building stuff and, hanging out with people, hanging out with family and spending more time doing, the things I actually want to do and like to do. So it's a good balance that I've found in this bear market, ironically.
Yeah, for sure. You're right on every level. It definitely does like open your eyes to see the people who have turned up every day and then are still turning up when it's quiet. It has definitely exposed the true, I guess, builders and I guess people who believe, people who've got conviction, people who are not just I guess either trying to gain from the community, pumping the bags of their projects now because that's not really working. Not really, not on a great scope anyway. So now, yeah, it is about it is
Right.
about, I guess, just connecting and tuning up every day, being visible, being active, and being ready so that when the next person you trust does launch something, they've built it for a long time. So it should stand the test of time and become more of a business rather than it be something that's just a quick flip. And the family time thing is
Yeah.
definitely a beautiful thing to see them more.
Yeah, we all need to go touch grass every now and then. And so
Or
it's
sand.
nice to do that more often these days. Yeah, or sand, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for
Sand and
sure. Like,
tequila. I've got grass and ape water.
I'm not sure which one's healthier, to be honest.
You gotta, yeah, I know. They're both good options. So
They're
I
good
don't know if you can
options,
go wrong.
and I guess tequila mixes well with water because you always need to rehydrate after, I guess.
You always need to. Yeah, you can't. You
Yeah,
need water to live. And
for
so,
sure. I mean,
especially
otherwise you
after a
die.
night of heavy drinking. So,
Yeah, for
right,
real.
right.
For sure. Like, what are you? I know we've gone over it, touched on a few things, but if you could see
Yeah.
yourself, so your ape in the future, whether it's maybe 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, because you said you're holding long term. Like I plan to keep my ape forever too. So where do you
Hmm.
see the
Hmm.
future of you and your ape? What do you want?
Wow. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I definitely subscribe to the idea of, never having to sell, your NFTs, and hopefully you can do something to monetize and benefit off of ownership of the NFT, right? And so I
Yeah,
think that's what a lot of people are doing in terms of trying to build up their brands, right? And I'm trying to build my guy up slowly. So I'm not sure if you're familiar, but I gave him a backstory because of the Jenkins the Valet, Bored and Dangerous book, right? And so I had to write something about him, and he was the author of that book sort of took the information and put him in the book and wrote about him there. And his backstory is that he's this ape born on the wrong side of the swamp, just kind of did what he had to do to survive. Grew up in sort of meager
Mhm.
circumstances, and got is an ape with a good heart, but got involved with the wrong crew with the Apes of Anarchy, which is this local biker gang, and he had to carry out sometimes unscrupulous activities, but kind of in his workings with the Apes of Anarchy, he got to see a lot of things, and one of the things that he got to do were moving cargo and like new products, like all kinds of stuff. And so I think you were talking sort of later down the line. I think maybe Nicky Nichols is the guy that you go to for merchandise, because he sees all of it coming off the docks, coming in and out, being shipped in and out of the yacht club and whatnot. And so maybe he's a purveyor of hard goods of sorts. So there could be something around there. And it's an idea I'm sort of like toying around with in the back of my head, and so like if a product wants to get launched, maybe I have this platform someday that helps incubate or launch it to the broader Web3 community, or whatever community is. But yeah, that could be something down the line that I could see myself building at some point.
Nice. Actually, the merchandise makes a lot of sense after seeing behind in your bedroom. I'm sorry, you're not, maybe not bedroom, sorry, just your room.
The office, yeah.
The office. And
Oh, wife would kill me if
literally
this was the bedroom.
I don't even know why that came out, but your office. After seeing your office, it makes so much sense to me that you would go down the merch route. Yeah, I think actually it would suit your ape perfectly, and it can be something that's everlasting. And of course, using blockchain technology, if it's also an NFT and it can be digital, which is there forever, even if everything's destroyed in like real life, disasters, at least on the blockchain, it'll live forever, and I think it's a beautiful thing, the technology that we've come to adopt, and the advances being so extreme, and yeah, just a beautiful thing. So yeah, your merchandise idea, I think makes a lot of sense, and I'm living the backstory. I'll have to read it.
Yeah, thank you. It took me about I don't know, on and off, about a month to just like mess around with the idea, put it together. And
Yeah.
then I'm about halfway through the Bored and Dangerous book, so I haven't even gotten to read everything in every situation that my character goes through. So I've got to definitely finish that, because because it's all part of the lore of the brand, right? It's interesting because
Yeah.
brands get to make up their own story and just put it on their website, and that's sort of their heritage, right? Whereas my brand is like very sort of intricately tied to Jenkins of LA and the Board Ape Yacht Club and the Bored and Dangerous book. And so I have to kind of learn my own backstory a little bit and see how Nicky Nichols is portrayed, and just kind of tie that into my sort of brand heritage, right? Um,
Yeah,
and I think
I love
aside
it.
from the book too, it's just like also the persona and the reputation that I'm sort of building, that we're all building really on Twitter and Discord, and in real life at meetups and whatnot. I think it's so important to build good relationships with all these people. I in fact I kind of relate it to, so I went to business school many years ago, and
Yeah.
it I kind of relate it to that time in my life where you're in school, you're studying and stuff, but you're also partying and and interacting with a bunch of other students there as well, who all seem like pretty normal, regular people. And then 10 years, 20 years later, they're like heads of big corporations and whatnot. And I feel like it's so cool to have that network now, but also I feel like we're sort of doing the same thing now with the NFT community, like building relationships with the people we've been building with for the last year and a half, right? And we're all going to go on and do amazing stuff, and some people will stay in the industry, some people will migrate out and do something else, but like I think for the most part, you'll stay in touch with the people who sort of are, I guess, in your circle and in your on the same wavelength, and trying to do the same things that you want to do. And I think building those relationships now is just so invaluable. So any opportunity I can get to, like I said, go meet people and go do things and learn from them. Even sitting on a Twitter Spaces and whatever. Doing podcasts like this and meeting you, which is amazing. Like I love all of these opportunities to go out and just connect.
I love that. Yeah, I love it all. And I totally agree. All of the networking we're doing right now, no matter what it is, whether it's online, in real life, just being present, people seeing that you're visible and you're here. And yeah, connecting with people right now is invaluable. Like, it's so right. Because years to come, when there's mass adoption, who knows who we can trust? Who knows what's going to happen? But to make the connections now, while everything is in its infancy, whilst we can see clearly, who's who, a little bit like a small neighborhood where you could go next door for a bag of sugar. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that in future, I don't think. It's going to be maybe a lot more gated. There'll be different communities, different metaverses. You won't go into every single metaverse, but you'll go to the one where all your favorite NFT friends are. So I just think there's going to be so much change over time to come. Meeting people now, is one of the main things that I think we should all be doing outside of building anything, is building together.
Yeah.
Building, like brainstorming ideas, bringing different minds together so that everyone can give an opinion and then better ideas blossom. Because everything needs a group of minds rather than an individual. Greater things are built when it's together, and to collaborate, for example, Web 2, Web 3, bridging the gap. That is something invaluable, especially if people don't have real life business experience, for example, and then they go and try and launch something. They have no idea of like the back end of everything, how it works. I think it's just, there's a lot of lessons that everyone can learn from one another. And it really does excite me greatly. I'm so excited. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, no. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's like, it's like what they say is, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go farther, go together, right? And it's just the truth. There's no escaping it. Maybe unless you're Vitalik Buterin, but I mean, even he had a team of people around him, right?
Yeah.
No, I think you're so right. Sort of building together. It's building a business, I would imagine too, is just so daunting doing by yourself. It's so much easier, I think, being able to work with someone else, bounce ideas off of, and it's just less lonely too. And you could drive yourself crazy pretty easily, questioning yourself and trying to remember everything. And so I think it's about surrounding yourself with the right people with complementary skills. Obviously, it's super important. So
yeah, for sure. And if there's one thing someone can learn today from this podcast, that is definitely a golden nugget. Definitely. I'm just bullish. I'm bullish on all of this. I'm so excited that we're able to do this, to be able to use our Ape filters. So utilizing our IP, being able to share knowledge because we've been here, which feels a decade, even though, 18 months, it just goes so fast. Like 24 hours feels like a month. It just is crazy. Time evaporates. And to be able to do this now, to be able to connect together when we're, 8 hours apart. Like I'm 8 hours in the future from you. That's wild. Like I'll never understand time. I don't really believe in it. but we're making it happen. We're here, we're present, we're working, we're building. Even this is all a part of the building process.
That's right.
And wow. Yeah, super excited. The technology's there.
No,
We just got to use it.
It's amazing. And, sorry, we'll say that again.
The technology's there. We've just got to use it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Totally agreed. In my IRL life, I actually manage a team that's not even in the same country as me. So they're, dealing with, the time change and working at different hours. It's kind of par for the course for me. So I'm used to it. And, there's people all over the world that we'll have to deal with. So, that's technology has sort of made everything global, and it's kind of shrunken the size of the earth in a way where we can interact with more and more people, no matter where you are, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see that you can build with people from different locations in the world. And I was going to say, if you ever need anything, if I can help with anything from where I am, like, let me know. I'm happy to help in any way.
That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. See, it's things like that. It's just the whole vibe of everyone just wanting to help each other. I actually think that's what sets Bored Apes apart in a lot of ways. We're here for each other. We lift each other up. We help each other rise in the most part. I'm sure I don't follow every Bored Ape. I don't even think they're all on Twitter. It'd be nice if they were. But the people I am connected with, I just get all the good feelings. Yeah. No, thank you so much. I probably will take up that offer at some point.
Yeah. I'd love to help. And, I think, like you said, it's about the community, right? And, I feel like everyone's building, everyone's doing something, and everyone needs something, and you need stuff too eventually. And so it's always like just put those good vibes out there, because you'll get them back, and that's what I truly believe, right?
Yeah.
So I'm generous with my time, and anything I can help out with, for sure. And and it's crazy to have this network of apes. Like the other day, I was like, "Hey, does anyone know this person?" There, and two people were like, "Oh yeah, I know him. I'll connect him with you." And that stuff happens all the time, and it's just so cool to have this network of apes to sort of kind of reach out to and help you when you need it.
I didn't quite get that. It's crazy to have this what? We're gonna make it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
And we're back in the room.
We are back.
I blame the tequila.
That's fair.
Yeah, where were we? Let me think. Let me sort of scratch my ape here.
Yeah, this is the new one from Mo Pete, and
yeah,
it's the beanie isn't as wavy as before.
Okay, my ears are going wild. Look,
yeah,
so yeah,
I like
maybe
the ears.
you need
The ears
to
still work.
Yeah, tell him you want your beanie to flick and just look more alive.
Yeah, I do like how wide the mouth opens though.
It's like, what?
Mine go.
Wow, yours does go really wide. That's amazing. Because now when you yell tequila, you're like, tequila.
Tequila.
I love it. You could fit so much tequila in there. That is incredible. It's the perfect volume of
Right. Exactly.
Amazing. I'm just excited for what's to come. I'm excited that we're building new connections. I'm excited I'm getting to know you a lot better. And who knows what's going to happen? Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that brings up a good point. I was going to ask you sort of, you get to meet a lot of new people and apes doing this podcast, I guess. What's the timing on things? How many guests are you trying to have? And how, over how many days are you planning to do this for? And
such a good question. Because wow, I am on fire. So on average, like forever, I've only ever needed a small amount of sleep. So like I know, like 3 to 5 hours is my average. 5 hours, I feel much better. And 3, I can definitely function on. So I had 4 last night. And the
Wow.
night before that, I think I had 3.5. But I'm like all good. It's just the way I am. It's
Uh,
not, I know like science would say you need 8 hours, etc. And
Sure.
I've really tried. I try my hardest. But if I have longer, I just feel sluggish. But on
Yeah.
that note, I get a lot done. Like, wow, I get so much done. So you're actually the 5th person I've recorded
Cool.
since maybe for 5 days actually, because I've done one a day. Plus,
Wow.
I've edited and uploaded 3 already, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
I recorded one last night, and I'm in the
Okay.
middle of editing that. And then I've got another one tomorrow with a new guest. Then I've got, I know. However, Fridays and Saturdays, where I am, there are crazy nightclubs and the floor shakes. So like wherever space I'm in, they're like crazy parties. Like it's like, should I go? Should I turn up? But literally, yeah. So I can't actually do podcasts on a Friday and Saturday right now
Oh no.
where I am, but I can edit. See?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and then Sunday I've got another guest. And then next week I've got more scheduled. And so far I've got 17 apes on a waiting list.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
but I
incredible.
thank you. I plan on doing this great casual chats with them, as many as possible. But my first goal is 100. So the way I'm going, hopefully it'll be like, not far off 100 days away. But we'll see. But I'm just
That
really
is
like just
insane.
pumped. Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
I know people that are doing, stuff like this, but at a much sort of slower cadence, maybe like one a week, if
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you're doing one
Yeah.
a day and producing it and, editing it. Oh God.
Everything is wild. Like editing as well. Now, this is another thing about sleeping less. I normally edit, like it can take a while and I'm not used to it. So anything between like 5 and 8 hours. And I will just stay awake as long as it takes. So I think the day before yesterday, I was up till like 5 a.m. Then I slept until about, it was the latest 10 a.m. So I had like 4.5 hours, I think, roughly of sleep.
Wow.
And then I woke up, did it all again. I keep fit as well. I go to the gym. I'm healthy and I'm active. So I'm not just sitting here all day, and it just works. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I feel like I'm on fire.
I got to get on that gym schedule too.
Yeah, well, we got to be apes, right? So we're like ape strength,
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't want to let the team down either, because I'm not exactly ape strength right now. Although inside strength, I'm pretty strong. It's like just outside, I look like pretty thin because it's like mostly yoga.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love feeling good. I love keeping fit. I love the mental clarity it gives you, And I've noticed that a lot of DJs definitely need some stretching because the amount of everyone's just like bending, cleans their laptops and
sitting
it's not
in
good
front of
for
the
the
computer.
spine.
Yeah.
Exactly. So everyone needs to just like arms in the air, stretch it out.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do some now.
Yeah, it feels so good. Like right into your fingertips. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be doing yoga on the stream today, so this is nice.
Me neither. I mean, we go with the flow. There's no rules.
Exactly.
I don't make the rules because there are no rules.
Exactly. Right.
I love it. Honestly, it's been an absolute blast speaking to you. Like I know you've got some in real life commitments right now, but because I think I could talk to you like for hours and hours and hours and hours more.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm loving
sure.
it. I'm loving it. It's been awesome.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, this is good. It's always good to talk NFTs and Web3 with other people, right? That's kind of why I like going to these IRL meetups. You can hang out and talk for hours on end, and the only thing that kind of pulls you back is your IRL commitments, which is what's going on now, right? So I can empathize with that, certainly.
Well, just to give you some I guess of a light of what the time is here right now, because I know it's quite early with you, right? It's like
4:20 p.m. Nice, 4:20. Let's go.
Yeah, Here, so I've passed the Cinderella hour. It's like 20 past midnight.
Oh my goodness.
Woohoo! So like literally after this podcast, I'm gonna be starting editing, and I'll probably be
Yeah.
up until like 5 in the morning, and hopefully it'll be done, and then I can upload straight to YouTube as soon as it's like processed. So yeah,
You're a
looking forward to it.
beast. You're amazing. You're
Yeah, it's gonna
amazing.
be a good night. Thank you, honestly. And you're amazing, honestly. You're so
Oh, thank you.
friendly and kind, and just
Thank you.
you're full of all of the positivity and the energy that I absolutely love, because it is exactly why, this community is so great, and why I love it so much, and why I'm still here, with massive bags that I'm holding and never ever flipping, selling nothing. I'm diamond hands all the way. And it's apes like you, it
Oh
makes
man,
everything
appreciate
just
that.
like that. I don't know, more tight knit, just better.
I love it.
Better.
Yeah, and I think that's the best thing that, Yuga has going for them, that people sort of love being part of the community. They love being apes, and it sort of makes it that much harder to pry one away from from the next person, right? And
For
so
sure.
it's amazing. It's about the community, like you said. So
Yeah. And it sounds like really cliche saying that, but it is true. It is.
yeah, no, totally. But yeah, anyways, thanks for having me here. I know you
You're absolutely welcome.
I know you've got a lot of people coming, but I'm honored that you even invited me to be here. And so I think this might be my first maybe official like legit interview. So this is awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
love
for
it.
making
I
it
love it.
such a fun experience. So
I'm glad you had fun. I had so much fun. And every time we'll just get better. I'll get better at what I'm doing. My guests will feel like more comfortable as we go along, because everyone will realize I'm not probing anything like, crazy or dangerous. I just want to have general casual conversations with you all,
yeah,
get to know you better. That's the best
awesome.
way. We're gonna
We're
make
gonna make
it.
it. Let's fucking
go.
go. Tequila!
We're gonna make it, fam.
Let's
Yes.
go.
Let's go. I love it. Thank you so much. It's been amazing speaking to you. I cannot wait to have you back again, and we'll just get really deep back into NFTs and everything that we have going on. And congratulations on everything. And I really do hope that Ape Beverages goes well for all of you, because I'm excited to watch it. I am. It looks
For
awesome.
all of us. It's for the whole community for sure. So
it's amazing.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what you do with it.
Yeah, well, when we come back, episode 104, I'll be back. Or 105, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, If you know, you know.
I'm in. I know.
It's gonna happen. Gonna make it.
Cool.
All
right.
See you back into the fan.
Thank
Have a good
you.
one.
See ya.
Take care. See ya.